And it all comes down to this. The team final pursuit of Tour de Endurance Season 2. The grand finale. Party Crashers through to the Moneymakers can still win the tournament on the biggest funnel tower Tour de Endurance has ever seen and likely will ever see. These 4 heats, with one championship contender at least in each one, will take on this big final battle of an already blockbuster season.
Now, coming into this event, the Party Crashers 135 point and the championship lead. They have the driver's seat to take this championship, but the other 4 teams are not going to let it up without a fight. As we see Expedition examples here to show how this event works. All 4 marbles from each of the 4 teams are going to be participating in each heat, and it's about how they're ranked in terms of their placement when they reach the bottom. More your marbles are ahead of the previous ones, they will get points for their teams. The top 2 will advance to the semi-finals. Top 2 from the semi-finals will advance to the finals.
So of course it will be first, it'll be 16 points for first place, 15 points for second, and so on until it's 1 point for last. And as you can see, as that Team Cameo member just did, it is very possible to fall off this track, and that will give you, well, last place. You could finish. A marble could finish, and then you could DNF afterwards. Look at that. You can also fall off the foundation into that green funnel. It acts as a catch basin for those that fall off higher up, but it will absolutely ruin your chances of a good result. Falling off there doesn't matter. As long as you come through the funnel, your points will count.
And of course, this event, an all-out brawl from the translucent funnels at the top to the orange funnels here and to this large, amazing green funnel here to kick off the ending of the Tour de Endurance Season 2. This funnel here will crown a champion.
That is very scary to think about. That is one massive funnel, the biggest funnel you'll likely ever see from Tour de Endurance. Let's have a look at this again. The Flash Fires, Breakfast Burritos, Sky Dragons, and Team Cameo. As you can see, Team Cameo had 1 fall off the track completely, 2, another one that just jumped off the track, and Flash Fires had a DNF well over there. I think Breakfast Burritos had one jump out right here. That still counted for their points. We'll have to see who won. Sky Dragons had all theirs finished, and as a result, they would get the best. Breakfast Burritos, 15 to 14. Despite the tie, they would beat the Flash Fires in that case, if there is a tie. So, great example. Shows all the possibilities of this event as we go to the first battle with the Blue Brigade and the Moneymakers. 2 championship contenders in this one.
Now, both of those championship contenders, they are 4th and 5th. They have to advance if they want to keep their championship alive. If they don't advance, it doesn't matter what the rest of the teams do. They will not win Tour de Endurance. As we see, I think the Silly Slimes have a couple up there. Oh no, that's one of the Moneymakers. You can clearly see how much of a brawl it is. It is absolute chaos in these upper funnels.
In these first 2 funnels, it is very hard to tell what's going on. Once we enter those orange ones, you start to see which teams have a better advantage. And I see multiple of the Marauders are not having a great time. They're plummeting down the field. You can see those dark black marbles having a horrid time. A couple of the Blue Brigade, multiple Moneymakers, those 2 teams doing what they can in these early stages of the race to confirm or at least get their best possible chances of advancing, while Silly Slimes and Marauders plummet on down the track.
Look though, they had 2 Blue Brigade marbles and then 2 Moneymakers marbles rotating in tandem, trying to work together to get advancement here and keep their championship alive. We have 1 of each of the teams up there, while 3 of the Marauders are already in the big green funnel.
There are a couple of the Moneymakers down there as well, but they're doing alright to keep themselves up. Silly Slimes have a couple. This is the first Blue Brigade to enter, while multiple Marauders are already crossing the line. They got bottom 2 in that one. There's a Moneymaker for the first time. But the other Moneymakers are holding their own in that bottom funnel. This is going to be, I think, Blue Brigade and Moneymakers based on the other finishes. Silly Slimes are all done. Marauders only have 1 on the track still. I think the 2 championship contenders are looking very good here.
Yeah, the Marauders never really were in it, and the Silly Slimes also kind of fell apart. So this opens the door for the 4th and 5th place teams in the championship, trying to get some good points here. As you can see, 1 of Moneymaker and 1 Blue Brigade marble here in the final funnel. Kind of a celebratory, rotating fun in the final funnel here, because I think both of these teams know they're going to be advancing.
Bit of a, yeah, this is definitely a celebratory. They both know that they're moving on. They have a chance of victory here with Moneymakers. I don't know, what are they? They're just holding their own at this point. They're showing off to the other 2 teams that that's why they're a championship contender as those 2. But those top runs, I think they should be moving on. Let's have a look. Yeah, see both old Moneymakers and Blue Brigade in the top 4 with multiple other good results. I think I know who's moving on in this one.
You know, I was speaking to the Moneymakers earlier before this event. They won the first event of the season. They would love to get a win in this final event to seal their championship, but they and the Blue Brigade are still in it after the first heat.
Now the Moneymakers may be confident, but they are also 23 points behind the Party Crashers, meaning that the Party Crashers have to fail to advance and get a very low score for the Moneymakers to have any chance of winning. As we move on to the next heat, and there you see the other team that can win, the Team Sunrise, the home team. This is the big team that can win it. Let's see how they can do with the 7-speeders, White Knights, and the Croissant Crew in this one.
The fans have come out to see their team in second place in the championship out here now to potentially win it all in front of their home fans. But they have three, is that three, or is that some of the Croissant Crew up there with them? It's hard to tell as we see more of the White Knights and the Serpent Speeders dropping down into the orange funnels.
Croissant Crew have multiple in that top funnel. Well, I think there's two Croissant Crew compared to one of those other two. 7-speeders not having a great run at the start here, but the Croissant Crew trying to get those first two as far away as they can from the rest of the pack. And there's another one, that top orange funnel, but he falls on through as I say that. White Knights, pretty spread out. Everyone's rather spread out here, but Team Sunrise, the only team who's not spread out, they're all spread out toward the bottom funnels. They're not doing too hot in these first stages of the race.
Now we saw the championship contenders in the first heat doing well. That's not being mimicked by the home team right now, as we have several dropping down into the final funnel almost.
There you see all the last orange. There are 3 Team Sunrise already in that last green funnel, with the 4th one coming on through as we speak. This is not looking good for Team Sunrise. They'll need a massive push in this final funnel. It is possible. It's a large funnel. It could go wrong, but one comes through there. All the other 3 are losing momentum rapidly. Well, look at the gaps up to the rest of the field. Team Sunrise, it's all sapping away. There's only one left on the track. This is just dreadful to watch.
Oh, and the home fans are not going to like this, as you can see multiple of each of the other teams. Each of the other members are still up there, and I think it's championship over for Team Sunrise.
2 7-speeders, 2 White Knights, and 2 Croissant Crew all beat the Team Sunrise. That is very unfortunate. 7-speeders will get 2 in the top 4 at least, with the White Knights and Croissant Crew, I think. Yeah, that 7-speeder's gone. Dueling for that win. It could be very important for advancement. Croissant Crew bumped the White Knights, and a duel ensues with the White Knights winning it out. That's a very good movement by the White Knights to get the win there.
You can clearly see the strategies at play in that final big green funnel. This is the first time these marbles are exposed to it in professional competition, but you can clearly see they have trained hard to master it. Milk from the White Knights gets the win. Does that get them advancement with the other marbles fairly down? We'll have to see.
Between Croissant Crew and 7-speeders, it is very close for them and the White Knights, but I think we can all sadly say Team Sunrise in their own tournament are gone from the championship, But between these 3, we'll get to see the results end by 3 points. The White Knights will beat the Croissant Crew to move on to the semi-finals with the 7-speeders, but Team Sunrise, the fans are not happy about that one at all.
Yeah, heartbreaking for them, and we are down to just 4 teams that can win the championship, and we have the leader of them all, Party Crashers, here. If they advance, it could be a lot of trouble for the other teams, but Onion Union, Steel Force, and Hell Clowns trying to spoil the party here.
I see Onion Union have not had a very good run in this tournament. They're hoping to get a good finish, as they would. Steel Force are doing alright at the top, with Onion Union, in fact, one of their members taking the lead, but multiple Hellclowns having a terrible time. In fact, all 4 of them are already into the orange funnels. A very bad start. Meanwhile, look at this. 3 Steel Force and 2 Onion Union already at the top. Party Crashers are doing nothing to combat these team efforts.
The Party Crashers, some of the other teams willing the other teams in this heat on to knock out the Party Crashers. The Party Crashers, they really want to resurface. They've done well, especially Wanderer, in the funnel event before, but can they work together as a team to do it when it counts?
I forgot about Wanderer. Wanderers are the only one who's done the funnel event, so these other 3 might be rather inexperienced in the funnels, but Steel Force is the first one to go into the big green funnel down there, but there are multiple still piling on through down in that bottom one now. It's starting to become a train wreck down below, but 3 Steel Force! It's top 3 for Steel Force very briefly there before they're pushed on through by the Party Crashers.
There's multiple Onion Union, multiple Hellclaw, multiple Steel Force, all of them down in the bottom funnel. But a Party Crasher, I think, was that finished first?
That's not very good for the Party Crasher. There are still 2 going on the track. They're holding out as best they can, and they're doing pretty good as well. The Steel Force and Onion Union are fending them off. The Party Crashers will get 2 in the top 5, but not the 3 that matter. Onion Union, Steel Force, and the Hellclowns. These 3 have done pretty much the bare minimum to try and get through, but I don't know if they did. It is very close between all of them. But let's have a look at who finished. I don't see a member of the Steel Force or Onion Union. I think 2 of them crashed.
that could be big to get the Party Crashers advancement. That third Onion Union marble, Calcott, they managed to hold out ahead of both the other two Party Crashers, but I don't know if it was enough. We'll have to see.
You look,
as we
there's
go to
Onion
the
Union.
final
He just
standings.
crashed. He crashed in the final orange funnel. And look at there. Steel Force. One came through the penultimate one and never appeared again in the last one. Steel Force and Onion Union crashed in that same funnel. And that's the difference. Party Crashers move on, both of them by a single point. Dearie me, that is massive. Those DNFs costed them advancement, and the Party Crashers championship possibility just massively increased.
And the other teams in championship contention, they're not all knocked out yet, but still very difficult, much more difficult for them now than if the Party Crashers would have not advanced, and they wouldn't have were it not for those DNFs.
Green Peacocks are now under the most pressure possible. They've just seen the Party Crashers advance in the closest way possible. They did the bare minimum to advance, I think, but the Green Peacocks are under the most pressure possible. With the Grayscales, Sweet and Sours, and Citrus Sprinters trying to either take them down or maybe give them some advancement, maybe give them some salary here to get them through to the final.
The Green Peacocks, they've seen the Party Crashers do it, but they've also seen both teams from the first heat advance, and they've seen teams from Team Sunrise that didn't advance. So which one will they mimic? It will be one of them if they do advance or if they don't. But I think the Green Peacocks, they are having two good marbles in one of the highest orange funnels there. That is looking good for them as they hope to continue this fine form.
Oh, it's all gone wrong. The Green Peacock, as Ramen stops speaking, Green Peacock comes off the track. They have crashed completely. I also noticed one of the Grayscales came off earlier. There's only two on the track left. No, sorry, 3 on the track left. My mistake. But one of them is winning, so they could still bring it back. And all the Green Peacocks that are still running are still in the orange funnel. So a DNF does not spell doom. It just makes things a bit harder for you to advance. As you can see, they're starting to pile on through.
3 of the Citrus Sprinters down in the bottom funnel, as well as multiple of the Grayscales and the Sweet and Sours. Despite that DNF, could the Green Peacocks, they're 2 marbles in the orange funnels, setting themselves up well, but I don't know, it's going to be very close as one of the Grayscales just plummets on through.
That's the second Grayscale to crash. That gives Green Peacocks a massive chance. 2 DNFs for the Grayscales, and not great results by the Citrus Sprinters and the Sweet and Sours, but 2 Green Peacocks still in this funnel. If they can fend them both off, it's looking good for them. It's down to 2v1 with the Citrus Sprinters.
Of course, the teamwork element really coming in here. Will it work for them? No, one of them will fall on through, but the Citrus Sprinter is not able to beat the second one, and the Green Peacocks will get the best individual marble. Now, will that be enough for advancement?
And there you see the first crash for the Grayscales just plummets off the foundation of the track. Meanwhile, the Green Peacocks, look at this, just plunges off the ramp into the abyss below and then rolls away in shame. But the other 3 competitors did so well, I think Green Peacocks will sneak their way through despite the pressure and that massive mistake by one of their members. Meanwhile, look at the Grayscale, jumps off the one funnel into the next one. That's going to spell doom for the Grayscale. Only 16 points, but 1 point for the Citrus Sprinters over the Sweet and Sours. They'll join, of course, the Green Peacocks in the semi-finals.
And that means comfortably we will still have 4 teams in championship contention, as the Sweet and Sours do Sweet and Sours to the Grayscales, the best of the rest in that order.
Now, actually, Ramen, Moneymakers can no longer win. With the Party Crashers advancement, Moneymakers are gone. They can no longer win. They can still contest for a podium, but their point gap to the Party Crashers is too big where they can no longer win from just through the semi-finals. But the Blue Brigade can still win through the semi-finals, and they are in this group with the Hell Clowns, Citrus Sprinters, and the White Knights. So they can still do a good run here, provided things go well. But they have quite a battle to do here. It's a massive pack at the start.
We have a Citrus Sprinter and a White Knight in the top funnel now, just a White Knight, but 3 of the Blue Brigades, now all of them in that one orange funnel. It is not looking good for one of the only championship contenders left.
Meanwhile, in complete opposite standings, the Hell Clowns had 4 in the top funnel. They were doing very well. They're still doing quite strong. White Knights take the lead with multiple Hell Clowns doing good, but Blue Brigade, 3 of them in that bottom funnel in a massive pack. Blue Brigade need to start pulling things back and quickly, or else they're going to be out of contention very soon.
The Blue Brigade, this is not looking good. They really need to come in clutch in these orange funnels. That green funnel is a big wild card when you're up in there, but one of the Blue Brigade just completely tracks under the pressure, and this is not looking good. It's slipping away from them.
2 of the Hell Clowns, I noticed 2 of the Hell Clowns during that time have also crashed. The Hell Clowns have gone completely gone. They were doing so well earlier. Now there's just 2 left on the track. One of them sent in a wild direction in that green funnel. They're going to finish very slowly now. It's all the Hell Clowns. Oh, they're in big trouble. Meanwhile, Citrus Sprinters and White Knights have multiple doing very well, I think. Hellclans have just completely botched it after those 2 DNFs, and the Blue Brigade only have 1 still moving. I think the Blue Brigade are gone here, unfortunately.
The Blue Brigade, they tried to salvage good positions in that green funnel. You can see it was absolute chaos, but while one of the teams, Hellclowns, tried to maybe help them, it's not going to be enough. They needed to beat 2 teams, and the White Knights and the Citrus Sprinters have just done better in this semi-final.
And the White Knights, in fact, will actually jump into the green one after the Blue Brigade have already come through. They're just showing off at this point. They're just trying to show off. I don't know what the White Knights had to show off. They haven't done too well, but they just keep going. The Hellclowns, though, that is very unfortunate. 2 DNFs at the late stages of the race. I have to watch the replays for that one, but look at this. Beyond 2 minutes, maybe even going for 2:10. Absolutely, wow, look at 2, wow. I cannot believe that.
And all this does is just heighten the tension for the other teams that still have a championship on the line. But the White Knights, once again, I think that's Milk, once again, getting first place. I might want to sign them up for a funnel event because they have done beautifully in the heat and the semi-final.
And you see one Hellclown crash there, second Hellclown crash is there. That's where it all went wrong. Absolute, well, hell for the Hellclowns in those final couple of orange funnels. Gets them out of this race, I'm pretty sure, with only 2 getting to the bottom. And, yep, there it is. By 6 points, the Blue Brigade are out.
That means we have just the Green Peacocks that can dethrone the Party Crashers, but both of them are in the semi-final. If the Party Crashers move on and the Green Peacocks don't, it is over and the Party Crashers will have clinched the championship.
And then even by some hustle, if they both don't advance, that is also it for the Green Peacocks. But they're all still contesting for podiums, but this is the definition of a blockbuster race. Everything relies on this. You've got 2 championship contenders, 1 podium contender, and of course the Serpent Speeders, who, don't doubt them, they were the winner of the final event in Season 1, so they still have final event prowess. Moneymakers are off to a great start. 2 on those top funnels, but they start to fall on through as I say that.
The Green Peacocks, this is so important for them. No matter what happens, they have to advance if they want to be champions. But the Party Crashers are hoping to spoil the Party Serpent Speeders, as you mentioned. Very good in final events. Hoping to spoil the party as well, maybe. We'll have to see, as the Moneymakers are looking in a very good position on the top of the translucent funnel.
Moneymakers currently have top 3 in the early stages of the race, though. It could go very wrong. There was 1 Green Peacock well down there, but he could easily hold out as one Party Crasher joins him, followed by a Serpent Speeder, one of every marble except for the Moneymakers, who are doing still very well in these top stages of the race. But now they start to pile into that green one where all hell begins to break loose.
I think there's a couple of Party Crashers down in the bottom, but also a couple of Green Peacocks. Party Crasher falls on through, another Party Crasher falls on through. It might be over for them, but the Green Peacocks, they desperately need to get some more help if they want to advance here.
The Green Peacocks, after those 2 Party Crashers, 2 Green Peacocks followed suit, so the Green Peacocks, we need to hope for some bad runs by the Serpent Speeders, who have had 3 come across now, so it's looking possible. Party Crashers are now all done. Party Crashers, there's no way they advance with that one. But the Green Peacocks need as best as they can. That's going to be, I think, 5th place for one of them. This one needs to hold out as long as he can to try and maybe even win the race.
Moneymakers, I think they're through. Party Crasher are not through. It's a battle between the Serpent Speeders and the Green Peacocks for the other transfer position. A battle that has so much championship implications as we see this Green Peacock trying to fend off the Moneymaker. I think they'll be able to do it. Will they? Yes, they will. The Green Peacocks individually will get the win, but it is enough to get an advancement. We'll have to see.
Now this is the most tense I think Tour Endurance has ever been. Between Green Peacocks and the Serpent Speeders, which one advanced? Party Crashers with bottom 2 are gone, but Green Peacocks and Serpent Speeders, Moneymakers are safely through. I think everyone can agree on that. But now we're just waiting in pure anticipation for who advanced to the finals.
Championship could be clinched here if the Green Peacocks don't make it. Tension rising as we see multiple Serpent Speeders in the replay, almost losing positions.
Look at that play.
They had.
Look at that play of that Green Peacock. Pushes a Moneymaker on through. If it was a Serpent Speeder, that could have been the game. And speaking of the game, the Serpent Speeders, 1 point in it. The Green Peacocks, with that loss, Party Crashers are your Season 2 champions for Tour de Endurance.
By 1 point, that is absolute heartbreak for the Green Peacocks. It is over. Before the final, the Party Crashers, they're in 8th place, but they've crashed the real party here, as they will be the champions. Not even with the event over, we still have a winner of this event to crown.
Of course, the Moneymakers in this one, they can still claim a podium if they do they can still claim an overall podium if they do a good run in this final race. But Serpent Speeders, who are looking to get another gold in the final, the White Knights, who are just looking for a medal, and the Citrus Sprinters trying to just get a good finish to the season. They're all trying to figure out to just get a good end to this one.
Serpent Speeders. Hopefully, it's good for them as well as the Citrus Sprinters and the White Knights. Moneymakers, though, a lot on the line here. Even if they're not in championship contention, they want to end on the podium, and they want to end on a high that they started. But will they be able to? The Moneymakers, they've looked very good in this event, but they are not in this final. Serpent Speeders and White Knights have multiple in the translucent funnel.
Serpent Speeders have 2 in the translucent funnel, in fact, as the White Knights push on through. Look at the Serpent Speeders, they're off to a great run here, with another one in the orange. Serpent Speeders have currently a top 3 going for them, while the Moneymakers, Citrus Sprinters and White Knights brawl down below for the bottom spot. Serpent Speeders are on an absolute tear in the final, while White Knights plunge off the side and still manage to push a Moneymaker on through the hole. That's crazy.
The Moneymakers, they're looking like a shadow of their past selves. They're not able to get good ground here. They had one marble finish last. Some of the other marbles trying to hold out, but the Serpent Speeders look like they're in a good position to potentially get a second win in a row in the final event.
They have had one finish. That's one finish for all of them, but there are multiple Citrus Sprinters toward the bottom. They have now 3 come across with multiple Moneymakers down there as well, but the Serpent Speeders tearing up this final track. White Knights have still 3 on the board. But they've and then he's fighting him off, but it's not going to be good enough. Serpent Speed, do this. I mean, I'm still looking at Serpent Speeders. It's amazing to watch. Serpent Speeders absolutely pushed him on through.
I think the Citrus Sprinters are going to miss the podium. 3 Serpent Speeders still here, but 2 of them in the orange funnel. Now just 1, but the Serpent Speeders looking like they're going to get the gold here.
Multiple left, but the Serpent Speeders had 3 in the top 4, and they will get top 2 in the race. The only team to get multiple in a row at the top result. Serpent Speeders, absolutely dominant win in the final. That's first, second, and fourth. That should be a massive win. Again, for the second time in a row, Serpent Speeders will win the final event of Tour de Endurance.
Very well done to that team. As we see how the others shake out, I think the Citrus Sprinters will miss the podium. There are a lot down there in the order. White Knights and Moneymaker, this might be close for the silver. Moneymakers, of course, podium overall and auto qualification still on the line, so we'll have to see how it is for them.
Of course, auto qualification is definitely on the line. That's very important. White Knights, I'm sure they're happy to see let's see what the standings round up to. Once you see the Serpent Speeders, just perfect movement all the way throughout, keeping themselves high in the early stages while they let the others battle and plummet on through, and they win by 11 points over the White Knights, who get a good silver to end their campaign, and the Moneymakers will take a bronze in the finale, while Citrus Sprinters, 4th place. I'm sure they're happy with that in general.
Moneymakers, I don't know if it's going to be enough for auto qualification. Just a bronze. Compare that to a gold. That's 10 points you're losing out. But a very well done to the White Knights and, of course, the Serpent Speeders.
And with that, Tour de Endurance Season 2 has come to a close, with the Party Crashers taking the win. We've done calculations. Moneymakers will not take a top 3 spot. They will be rounded out by the Green Peacocks in 2nd and the Blue Brigade in 3rd. Thank you very much for watching. Please enjoy the closing ceremony. Okay, you can talk now normally. What are your thoughts?
Oh my god, my face is red. Serpent fucking speeders, man. I was so close. Like, okay, before you. Oh, Onion Union time.
I can pause and we
It's
can
not-
watch that later if you want.
49 points.
Yeah, that's bad. That's
Yeesh.
bad. That is very bad.